All right. SUPERVIVE Competitive returns in earnest. And we have a little look at, well, our first map. And you can see there the new type of, well, one of the new types, I should say, of
Yeah.
drop zone. We've got our cone. So in this particular case, the dropship moving from east into a narrowing window. We also have the likes of multiple dropships around the map. Just gives you a little extra something to consider upon arrival, Chef.
Yes, there's a lot of difference. There's so many differences within this beta. I'm really excited to see them in the show matches. I got the chance to watch a ton of the previous show matches, but this is going to be the first big one, obviously, that we're going to see, where that's going to really reduce the amount of drops that you're going to have, big POIs on the west side of the map, as far as just this particular drop. So we'll see if we see more teams end up dropping more on the east.
Nothing to treat here. A debut for the Storm Shift that has arrived in the SUPERVIVE Next Fest beta and already into a fight between the Half Goats here and Secret Stash, a team that basically came together today to take part in this show match. I used to call them the Minty Maniacs, a beautiful, vibrant color. And are they going to chase them out of Academy here? Well, we've got the very awkward... Oh, what a brilliant hook through the teleport! But they miss the Q. Oh, Airbus got away with that one.
It was beautiful. That was a great way to start things off. At that point, you kind of just be like, yeah, we got that, let's leave. And actually, they are going to be hacking that vault, which feels like a little bit of a risky play when they know that there was an enemy team so close, but luckily, it does seem that they will be rotating away. They are going to be controlling most of this east side of the map, just sitting inside the academy, so not too bad as far as things go.
Yeah, heading towards Scavenger Bay. Looks like that's where our ring is going to be heading. But just a circle back around to nothing to tree here. Standing still makes you a tree.
Yeah,
it really is as simple as that. It's proper now here.
It is that simple. I'm really excited to see how that ends up playing, especially kind of later in the game. When I've had this one, I unfortunately haven't been able to make it to kind of those final circles, or it's been games where teams just end up fighting, and it's not really like that competitive. So I really want to see, once we have like maybe 3 teams in a smaller final circle, and everybody's just trees, if we can pull off anything kind of sneaky and make it a little more difficult to figure out where people are. But hey, first chance to see it.
Long one this. KC next, SUPERVIVE Kings. Fit that in 3 letters. It was a bit of trouble for us going up against Low-Key with one of the more experienced show match participants here in Gera, who, funnily enough, was the person who put Secret Stash together. What a boss. We had an engagement there from Manayan and got a bit of grounded action here, leading to our first knock at this action. Joshua goes down as well. Really strong engagement here from the next SUPERVIVE Kings, who've been telling me that they've been encountering the likes of AWBY and Chiprel in ranked. Well, if that's an indication of how good they are, I gotta say I'm impressed. Low-Key could be finishing in the low position of 10th, and that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Wow, I'm surprised that we end up seeing Rashok go back in right there. And I mean, Jewel only has like one real option to escape before she ends up getting her ult, and you basically have to choose whether you're going to go in, try to get those resets, and fight, I mean, an entire team, which is a really, really hard thing to do, obviously. That was a 1v4, but they did have a little bit of space. They could have just tried to go to the southwest and find some way to revive their team. I mean, we're still really early on. There's a ton of space. We can see right now on the map, nobody's in the entire southwest portion, but they committed. And so we get to see, I would say, one of the earlier team eliminations in most of these show matches.
Yeah, the only one that beats that, to my recollection, is Charlitas last month, where they were out at 2 minutes. I want to say to Fable, it was brutal. Shout out to the Souls as well, the Meteor Souls on the way. XP Soul, and one of our brand new souls in Shrapnel Soul, which is an armor shredder specifically. So interesting to see which is preferred between that and Damage Soul. Right now, though, we've got an engagement between, again, the SUPERVIVE Kings, or, well, the next SUPERVIVE Kings. Are they royalty in the making? Well, Chrysalid are looking to dethrone them, but Portion, the better part of Valor, it seems, now going in with that Felix. Cowd is going to catch a little bit of anti-heal. Lovely bit of healing work from this Aluna as... Again, the SUPERVIVE Kings are looking to round against each other. Jewel goes in and out, loses half of that health. Cowd now again with a lovely use of that Q on the Felix, but here goes the counter Jewel, but they're caught and they're going to be taken down by that Aluna.
Ooh, not quite able, they're barely able to pick them up just in time, and now they're going to be moving in themselves. KCS managed to get 2 knocks very quickly off the bat. They're going for a third, and they're going to be holding on to that wisp, but oh no, a third team coming from the south, and this is a terrible place to try and fight. I think at this point, you've got to start and run away. This is a huge choke point, especially when you've got an entire team of 4. Luckily, 2 will get away. Manayan and Karai are going to be able to at least get away with their lives, but they did not get what they wanted out of that fight.
Oh, that's a very risky revive, and LDX Iceland, for all of the Europeans and Brits out there who actually get that in joke, are going to continue to pick up the KOs. And again, no kill points in these show matches, but we do like to see the knocks and the kills. They are counted up at the end of the match just to see what would have happened. But check out these late rotates from all of these teams. Not many. In fact, I only counted 1 inside the circle as it stands.
We are almost certainly going to end up with some traffic jams, let's just say, and this might be one of them right here. Not a lot of space really kind of east or west, except for these small little paths to get away, and it does look like DuckTales will be trying to take that escape. On the other side, it looks like we could, oh, well, we're going to at least see 2 members still left over there of KCS. I'm not sure if they got those revives off, but it looked like they backed up, did not want to try to take that third party when there's still a full team.
Imagine they're suffering a little bit as elsewhere on the map, L Fusion goes down for Golden Snitch. Still none of the souls taken, but more lives taken here for Aldi X Iceland. The hunt is on for Luxy, rotating in. Top right of our stream, it's Snorse here. And believe me, if you have seen their mascot, yep, I have the same questions. Engagement, though, as 48 letters is going to eventually lead to this engagement, and they find the knock on the Kingpin. Massive, although it looks like that oath is going to go down too. Just a tense, tight engagement here between Snorse and Aldi X Iceland. We could see our second elimination, and we do, but it's on the other side of the map. It's Golden Snitch who go down. Snorse losing this team fight, Chef, but they, on the other hand, they survive to tell the tale.
Yeah, that seemed like an awkward timing to try and take that team fight. We saw one team at level 4, and then, of course, all the X Iceland has been taking so many KOs. They were at level 5 right as we hit that day 2 mark. So the level cap went up during that fight, and during that fight, we saw all the X Iceland actually get their ults, which was a perfect timing, I would say, or I'm sorry, hit level 6, which is a perfect time to kind of just overpower. We actually saw, I think, one person's level 11. They're Felix currently, so, or sorry, like level 7. I cannot speak. 7-11. Maybe I'm just hungry. But yeah, the level difference there was pretty big.
You know what? It's one of those American jokes. To be fair, we do have a few from the North Americas in this lobby. Again, that's part of the cross-continental carnage. Am I right, folks? Secret Stash, though, finding more knocks, and it's Chrysalid on the back foot, looking to rotate down and out of Wrath's row. Fly Knight on the chase, but they got to be careful. Lots of crevasses to be spiked down over, but Fly Knight has successfully traversed it, mostly because Chrysalid is backing up so much. Still no souls in pocket. They actually spawned so southeast of the map, Chef, that nobody was close, and so it's more for another day, quite literally in game.
Chrysalis, though, if they can just get away from this, oh, they would have good positioning, but a huge jump, and now they're immediately down to 3. They're just going to continue running, but oh, this is tough. You got cut off by the laser. That is okay, that laser was clearly the 5th member of that team. That was unfair. Perfect timing.
But Azuna has gotten away with one of the most maneuverable champs, although getting a little bit of anti-heal, getting their legs stuck on those nasty, nasty spikes. And Secret Stash, well, we can see on that minimap what they're probably aiming for. Or are they? XP Soul was within sight, but they've quickly done an about turn as Izuna was looking for a cheeky revive tower. But now they've just led DuckTales right into the clutches of Secret Stash. So Izuna is going to escape much to their heart's content. And DuckTales could be completely outflanked here. They surround the revive tower. West is the safe way out. Fly Knight, though. Oh, they've had someone drop. So was somebody caught by DuckTales? Perhaps Nuke goes down to cover off this alleyway, and Secret Stash do get that revive back. Sorry, my apologies, not revive. They're looking to take the base camp. They have done.
Yeah, the big nuke as well, just to try and cut off some space. I think that DuckTales, they were a little bit worried just because they did see, of course, another team there. They didn't really know who was left on that team. Might be a little bit scary to try and take that and assume that, hey, maybe there's going to be somebody from the Southwest that's going to be third-partying us. Luckily, it was only like one person. They do manage to escape, but Secret Stash as well. They just regrouped. They took some time. Now, we might be getting our first soul of the game. Nobody's taken a soul yet, and that's going to be huge kind of going to this endgame.
LDX Iceland do have some of that experience, albeit from before basically I started organizing the show matches from July onwards. You got the likes of 48 Letters, who I kid you not, his username was something along the lines of, I have 48 letters to use in this game, so I'm going to use all of them. No joke. That was literally his name in the game. Had to shorten it for this Steam demo. Darts Live, though, looking to try and hit the bullseye here, but they have to get out of there. Simply too much damage. Level 6s, but it's the itemization that's looking really good for LDX Iceland, and they're going to pick up the soul here. Shrapnel, Soul, Armor Shredder. Would be nice for a team that was facing gold armors. Terrifying in the hands of people who do.
Yeah, the team with the best armor currently also has the best armor shred now, which is, yeah, just a little bit unfair. But no, all the Iceland have done an amazing job of staying ahead in the game so far, and it looks like they want to continue that way. This would be huge to be a little bit of EXP as they're going to be engaging across that gap. They're actually managing to split up Chrysalis a good amount as most of them are down in the southeast. We are going to get one pick up in the northwest. No chance to revive there as the zone gets corrupted either.
Izuna's doing so much heavy lifting for Chrysalid, not only being the sole survivor, but getting the revive and keeping his team in the fight. LDX Iceland looking to try and recover Collect here, who was a little bit low on health, now pop those Vive beans. Very limited healing opportunities here for AXI, actually. Only really that Oath with the Q, but I'm imagining again that their items are looking pretty good. Of course, we've got Trutnax with that Omnivamp as well. They're going to rotate out. Still 8 teams up, but check out the train. Looks very congested to me, and it's Secret Stash going after SNR here. Team Snorse forces out the Oathbreaker ultimate. Rancid Death is going to get spiked, and we're down to not just 7 teams, but 6 teams. Somebody else taken out in the midst of all that.
Yeah, Snorse, we hadn't had a chance to see them very much. They might have taken some losses early on and just been running away, but it looked like they were a little bit underleveled even for that fight, despite the fact that they were even down on players during that fight. They were going for that revive on the train, just no chance to possibly do that. So some pretty early KOs altogether as far as just full team eliminations. And right now, DuckTales, they're sitting pretty tight in the middle. This is a pretty defensible situation. LDX Iceland, they've got some nice armors, but especially 48 Letters has to get that repaired in some way to take advantage of that, but a huge pull on the bottom with a 3rd team.
Secret Stash continuing to level up in such a big way, but they've been unable to find the knock on the Felix. So DuckTales have control over this base camp. That is a huge boon to them, and I'd imagine that Secret Stash here going after this mini boss here just to try and get a little more itemization on board, a little bit more money. Never hurts, of course. I'm trying to have a look. This seems, I mean, oh, we've got Guardian Angel on that Luna as well, so it's looking pretty good. Not so good for Chrysalid, though, who have found LDX Iceland once again. Surely this is it. As Sicario, oh, could not slip out of the clutches of Collect for too long. Top 5.
Hey, that's still pretty relatively good spot with how competitive and aggressive this has been. Again, a huge grab, and it looks like this time they're not going to be able to stay away. I like this a lot. Secret Stash has the opportunity to fight a level ahead as there's been no mobs for them to be able to farm to get that level 8 cap. But oh no, second grab just barely missing. However, they do manage to separate out at least one member of DuckTales.
Doing work. This Kingpin VZ Orlando's and picking up that Oracle as well, so they'll have vision and they will see that the SUPERVIVE Kings here have found DuckTales. Look at the trees! Look at the trees using the Storm Shift! They're a tree and nobody knows! So they are surviving by the thinnest of threads, but using the Storm Shift beautifully, exactly as intended.
Yeah, okay, we got to see at least one big ambush. I really, really hope. But so far, that's been the only time that we've really seen it. I mean, everybody has had to move around quite a bit alongside, you know, kind of where the storm has fallen to. But I'm really, really excited to see it actually happen, especially as well if we end up seeing any of these teams get to these kind of like, I only have one person left on our team, we got to find some way to escape, or just like, I want to play for second at this point. We'll see if that ends up coming into play as well. But oh no, one knock here, and DuckTales now is going to have to fight a 1v3. Oh, actually getting maybe advantageously knocked over that gap. However, it's still going to be a very, very difficult situation. Almost gets pulled one more time. Too many to fight, and they're down to 4.
Salutes, quacks, whatever you got in chat for DuckTales, who fall at 5. Top 4 now. And for Kami Core fans, the SUPERVIVE Kings, they felt pretty good. Lovely instant ice crash here just to buy themselves a bit of space. The Oathbreaker unleashes the Earth Shatter, but the damage is simply too much in favor of these level 9s of Aldi X Iceland. Let us not forget, of course, that they have that Shrapnel Soul really assisting them well. As look at Ace, who's gotten a pickup on one of Secret Stash, who themselves have got XP Soul here. SUPERVIVE Kings trying to rotate round here, and they've bought themselves enough space. Aldi X Iceland with the experience to know it's not worth chasing for the moment.
They do have the ability to play a little bit aggressive, but they're not going to be taking that quite yet, as we're going to see a really awkward fight. It's one of those fights that's going to happen in two different sides as the storm's coming in, and they can actually get gatekept a little bit right here. That's going to be a huge pull all the way to the back line. The Oath ult's coming out as well, but first big KO for Secret Stash, and now 3 relatively low health members gonna have to find a way to either. Oh, looks like they continue to push. They actually managed to split up Secret Stash. What is this positioning?
Complete kerfuffle from Mambimza, who throws their healing circle into absolutely nowhere. It cost them so much damage as well, just getting that one knock, and for all of VZ Orlando's good work, to be fair, they got the revive off as well. Mega job, and now they're going to get caught out here by 2 teams. Immediate spike for Mabimza once again, but great work here from VZ Orlando's. His life is going to be taken as well here, but they've thrown the SUPERVIVE Kings into the firing line of Darts Live, who forces SUPERVIVE Kings back round this vault. Aldi X Iceland nowhere to be seen, but they're sitting pretty, not in God spot necessarily, but just in a much more comfortable position. They can watch the carnage unfold.
Right, could be a god spot potentially soon, but right now, I mean, KCS, they've got level 9. We see that's all the excitement up there with level 9. Darts Live, they have a good chance to kind of catch back up into this. I don't know exactly where they've been a lot of this game. I feel like we haven't had a chance to see them in a lot of these fights, but they've been staying alive, which is obviously a big deal, probably farming up a lot of PvE, and so they don't quite have the levels, but their items might be pretty strong at this point.
I mean, the one look that we did get was literally Jatis cosplaying as a tree. So that maybe tells you the story of the match so far. To be fair, getting into the top 4 of any of these lobbies, whether it's the top bracket or anything below that, is still an incredible achievement. But I think a lot of the teams that we were expecting, or at least 2 of the teams that we were expecting to be here, are here. Secret Stash, despite coming together late, got plenty of experience on that roster. Same can be said for Aldi X Iceland. Super impressed with the next SUPERVIVE Kings. They told me they were fighting all of these really big names, and it shows why they are in those lobbies.
Yeah, I'm really excited for how this will end. For anybody who hasn't had a chance to watch much SUPERVIVE or any SUPERVIVE, first of all, thank you for watching SUPERVIVE. This game is amazing. But also, the end circles have always been super exciting. I don't know why this game just perfect for the hugest plays. I mean, we've seen like ridiculous flanks. There was that one show match where the what was it, like the grenades ended up coming into play on like 3 islands. I don't know. I love the end game in SUPERVIVE.
They're setting up Helm's Deep here. Darts Live with a couple of walls. And yeah, Orlando's was looking for that kingpin grab, wasn't he? The kaiju grab, trying to find an angle and maybe finding a little bit of space here on that south side. There is another wall down there, by the way, but the poking and prodding will surely take that down. There's a little bit of calm now. Labrivon steps out a little bit and will no doubt see Secret Stash making that rotate to the east side of the circle.
I like this play a lot, the rotation. I don't know if they're intending on fighting, but they are getting gatekept a little bit. They've got a little bit of space if they want to try to get around them, but this cover on the west side is looking really, really good for Darts Live. Oh, and the big ult coming out. That's going to hit 3. They're in a scary situation. We're starting to see the storm fall in on them. They've got to make a move soon, and a risky flight along the right side, and I don't know if they're all going to make it over. It looks like at least most of them do.
I mean, that's a great hook, though, from Orlando's, but doesn't quite nail the Q. Executes with the R, but doesn't quite find the execution. Labrivance and Fly Knight claim knocks of their own, but then everybody else starts to retreat. We saw that anti-mobility field go down. Feels a little bit wasted now in hindsight as SEC have themselves a little bit of space to work with. Darts Live, they're down to 3. They're going to have to find a revive from somewhere.
I'm actually really surprised that Secret Stash managed to stay alive during that rotation. I mean, that was pretty risky, but they just did not get dunked at all. So avoiding the spikes, pretty good deal. But now we've kind of got 4 different teams holding 4 different quarters of this map, and it's split in kind of a cool way, actually. Again, the final circle is always really cool. Yeah, look at this. Look at how many spike walls there are. They are playing a very different game right now.
They've been literally setting up shop, but they haven't covered every single angle, and they would have noticed that as well as us, Chef, as Secret Stash go round the back. There is an entrance there, but it is well covered by 48 Letters and Trucknats. 48 Letters, who is keen to keep an eye on them. We can see that the ring has continued to shrink, but we will see that move ever so slightly as we continue along here in end game. Worth mentioning the SUPERVIVE Kings over there on the left as well, who have not wanted to engage. But here's DartsLive, feeling fancy, feeling tricky with the 3, but catching again 3 with the Q. Fly Knight activates the ultimate as well, gets plenty of Ignite off, trying to boost that passive, but they haven't quite found the kills that they were looking for. But now that base camp, Chef, disappears into the storm, and DartsLive have very little bases to work from.
Yeah, that would have been a great one to be able to pick up, but they were able to get kind of what they needed out of it, just at the very minimum, a little bit of armor, but a big pull again, and that's going to be a huge down as far as going into the end of this. I mean, all the Iceland has been doing such a great job, and they've got such a defensive position that now going down to 3, they are holding on top of this revive, and it does look like they'll be pretty easily be able to get it off, but everybody's starting to rotate towards them.
There was a clutch shield in there from 48 Letters. Orlando's has been absolutely superb on this Kingpin. And again, DartsLive really don't like the look of Secret Stash. They've identified them as the team to try and beat. AXI rotating round, recognizing the threat of KCS here with level 9s, 1 level 8 still in and amongst that. DartsLive, I mean, look at the levels there, 7s and 8s. They are well out of it, but KCS don't feel that same way. Another good Q is big tactical nuke down. That's going to fall straight on top of 48 Letters' head, and that takes him out of the action immediately. Now it's SUPERVIVE Kings on the retreat as Trucknats goes in. Dual ultimate up, going to fall down and looks to try and get the revive, but the revive isn't there, and the tree prison, and then to add insult to injury, here comes the train! Unbelievable scenes!
Train making a cameo in the final moments. Oh, but finally it looks like it might be time for Secret Stash to make their move in. We are going to see the Felix ult to try and get that engagement, but they actually kind of shifted over to fight a different team, and now we're going to be losing DartsLive when we're down to our top 3.
They weren't even playing in this match 4 hours ago, but they are looking like the most likely winners. Ice Crash out of pure desperation. Swayze gets away, but surely LDX Iceland will be on the same page as Orlando's. Not for much longer. 2v2, instant grab. Oh, they got the Felix emo out there as well into the queue, looking for a return, and they take it with the Kaiju Blast. Second one found as well, and the Void Ultimate has only found the one. We got ourselves Orlando's with a big heal, and look at that, activating the R. Babimza sees who's exactly going to try and win this fight for them, and it's going to be Orlando's. They found Fly Knight as well. LDX Iceland looks like they're going to be put on ice here as Collect Esport on the strike. The worst possible hunter you could hope for in this situation, Chef. Secret Stash from not playing to winners in our first show match.